3.
So
This is Patriot Mom 007 here with Total News Nation, and I am so just thrilled, honestly honored to be with Mr. Victor Marx. I know you all know who he is, and he does some amazing things around our country and outside our country, honestly, helping people, helping children primarily. So we want to catch up because I know he always has a lot going on and see where it is going coming 2024.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Thanks for having me on. And, you know, most recently we were just in Israel, and we were there right after the attack happened. And, you know, I can tell folks beyond any shadow of a doubt, it was the worst thing that we've experienced. My wife and I still have a home in Iraq. We've helped over 43,000 women and children who've been affected by terrorism or being trafficked in the Middle East. And I'll say this, what we saw was the grossest form of horrific evil.
Yeah.
And I need people to understand Israel's going to win. There's war is war.
God is on their side.
He is. And we'll be there next week.
Oh my gosh.
We have a team in there right now. We're still reaching children who've been affected and traumatized by this. But what I want people to know is the rockets never stop being launched from Gaza into Israel. And the death toll and suffering for children in Gaza, because we've helped Palestinian kids too.
Right.
It's not either or. The problem is, if we try to go into Gaza right now, they'll kill us.
Oh my gosh.
My friends who are Palestinians in key positions are saying, Victor, they'll kill or capture you.
Right.
And knowing that we just want to help children. So I'll say this, Americans need to understand that what's happened there, they need to be, and I'm going to pause for a minute for people to understand, I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
We know you're not.
And what we do with assumptions, that'll get you killed. And so we deal in facts and research and investigations. But I can tell you with great certainty, the number of nefarious characters here in the U.S., because of our open border policy, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah, you know, living in Arizona 25 years now, it is ramped up to the point of really no control. And it's something that we who live here worry about, honestly, daily, by the minute. We hear the news, we see thousands, 12,000 the other day, 10,000, another caravan coming. And there's no way common sense would tell you, there's no way that with what's happening around the world, that those people are not targeting America specifically, as we know they already do. Now they're going to do it physically because they're being allowed to come into our country unattended, unnoticed, unchecked. And Biden just doesn't seem to understand that it's going to affect negatively all the people, citizens and non-citizens living here.
See,
it's going to be a problem.
I'll only disagree with you on one point. I do believe Biden understands.
Oh, okay. No,
the effect, right?
Yes, correct. It's on purpose. If that's the truth. Yes, 100% agree with you there.
Folks.
When I say doesn't understand, maybe cognitively, he's not rationalizing because he's in his little bubble in his White House and he is protected with the Secret Service. But those of us who live amongst each other are the ones who are going to be targeted by a radical, by a bomb, by a cell that they call up. And I'm Syrian, so I'm familiar with the Middle East issues. So we are just really have to be vigilant. I don't know, would you have anything that you work on the inside in the countries? What can we even do in America to make ourselves safer, to tell you the truth?
That's the great question right there. And I'd say this, I just did this Zoom call. And I said, people, if you want to get on it, we had over 5,000 registered, which shows America's waking up, right? So I tell people, be part of or start a neighborhood watch.
Right.
First thing. Second, get to really know your neighbors.
Yep.
This isn't about preparing so you can fight out of your home. This is preparing so you can save your community and innocent people, elderly, single moms, and obviously, I mean, our national government will tell everybody be prepared for 3 weeks of disruption. I tell people, be prepared for 3 months. Have alternative aspects of energy. Even if it's a fold-out solar-powered panel, you can buy them in case you need something. The other thing is, and I know this sounds kind of rough, but I think every home in America should have a rifle.
I don't disagree.
People understand how to use them.
Does a 9mm count?
9mm will hurt people's feelings. And because what I saw in Israel firsthand, rifles matter.
Right.
and not only just buy the rifle, but also train with
Practice
it.
with it.
Yeah.
We have a lot of ranges here in Arizona.
Yeah.
A couple really good ones, really all over the valley and outdoors too. I mean, some of us women, rifles, you know, the long guns are harder. Anything with a lot of power. The handguns just are a little bit more user friendly, if you will.
So this is my recommendation.
Okay.
There's a company called Fold AR. It's a folding AR, short barrel, but you can get it in 5.56, and my wife loves it.
Okay.
So there are short barrel weapons that.
Well, Christmas is coming, so
Yeah.
I put that on the list.
And it can get it done, but again, preparedness, because if you delay, the chances are very high for this year for there to be significant disruptions, including, and we're getting warnings from what people call, how do they say that? It's program. They're showing us movies.
I saw it.
Did you?
I did, and you know, yes, and you know what's so funny about that is I was just watching the beginning, and I turned my head for a second, turned back, and I saw the credits in the beginning of the Obamas producing, and I thought, interesting, I wonder if this is going to be a totally woke movie, which it wasn't as much. Couple issues, but it was fine. But what they did and showed was happening. Predictive programming. Yes, and I thought, they don't make movies like that without somebody giving them a storyline. Nobody's thinking that up in their basement and writing it out.
No.
And they've been doing that for years, I think, in Hollywood, right? They're all in together.
Yes, but
they know
this
each
was
other.
so overt.
Yes, it was.
There's satanic overtones.
And they just had a cyber attack last week or the week before, didn't they?
They predicted in the film.
Yep.
A solar flare out.
Yes, I saw that the other day.
So, and they're trying to divide Americans.
And they are,
They're putting down white people again.
Right.
And it's like, my gosh, this should motivate people to say, okay, there's a lot of intentionality from very wealthy people, extreme, who are wanting to control the masses, and including corporations controlling us.
That's right. So, the money.
Yeah,
the power.
It's not a time for people to feel paranoid, but just prepared. So that's my encouragement.
Aware is prepared. I would say you have to know what's going on. I always tell people, Patriot Mom 007 says, get educated, get involved, know your neighbors. I know all my neighbors. We have for wherever I've lived my entire life. That's what we used to do. The whole neighborhood knew each other.
Yes.
And it's important to know who you live by. So I really do want to touch on, too, as much as that is so important and people need to kind of check out what's going on in your communities, in the world, is saving children and working to break up and find pedophile rings, pedophiles in general. Tell us about that, because that's a big problem here in America.
Yeah, that's probably our main focus. We have different initiatives, but we have what's called the Pedophile Hunter Task Force. And we started with a think tank of some of the best minds of going, how can we actually move the needle? And then from that, we developed a task force with some of the most qualified, seasoned investigators, policemen, intelligence gatherers. And I'll say this, here's the biggest problem. Don't look for the rings. Those will be busted, from the FBI to HSI, because there are good people in every agency.
Of course.
But we work hand in hand with law enforcement. We're just able to engage and set up target packages of bad guys that we know the DAs will prosecute. But here's the biggest issue. I'll use a conservative number, 31 million child sexual abuse images were transferred back and forth on the internet last year.
What a crime.
Yeah, so child porn.
I mean, they should be taking down those big tech companies just for that alone, for peddling porn.
And this stuff is everywhere from the, it's social media to dark web.
Of course.
But, like, I'm going to use this for instance, this isn't factual, but because of where we're working. But I'll say this. Any agency, law enforcement, or sheriff, police, they get these tips. So one city or county may get 4,000 verifiable IP addresses of the child porn and all that, right? There may be only 1 or 2 law enforcement officers
that have been assigned to that department, right, to that task force.
And they cannot do it all.
Yeah.
That's where we come in.
Okay.
And we have partnerships where they're saying, thank you. Thank you for coming in and helping to do the investigation, to do the targeting, to verify everything, and then we just let them execute.
Wow.
Right at the last minute, do the hookup, and we know that the DA will help prosecute.
Well, I do want to take this off camera too after we're done giving out links and where people can find to help you.
Yeah.
And I have a good girlfriend, Seek Smith. She's here in Arizona. She runs Mom Army. It's national.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Seek, but if you don't, I'm going to introduce you guys because she works with child trafficking.
Yeah, I know Mom's Army.
And so she's our founder.
Awesome.
And so I'm going to get you guys together. She's here today. We're going to look for her.
Okay.
But tell everyone where they can find you, your organization, how they can get involved.
Yeah, any social media, it's under my name, Victor Marx with an X. Or just go to victormarx.com.
And donations, or how can they help you?
Yeah, of course. Get on our email list. That's the most important thing. Because if people are on our email list, our daily intelligence brief that we send out, we know they're praying. And then as God leads, people do support us. And we're very grateful that we don't have to take any government money.
Excellent. Well, Victor Marx, thank you so much, sir. Pleasure to see you again this year here at America Fest. I think we'll be in touch in the future. So we are so glad he stopped by. You guys really need to pay attention to what's going on in your communities, your neighborhoods, in the house next door, honestly, and get involved and help out how you can. This is Patriot Mom 007 coming to you with TotalNEWS.com.